So we don't deny ourselves any register of these experiences, as long as we realize that all of them are lit by the same light, translucent, transcendent light that is never dimmed, only seemed as if, that illumines the furthest galaxy and every corner of your heart and every interaction, illumines the very, very meaning of what it means to be mother. Both eminent and transcendent at once, because that is the quality of that light. It's not a detached, cold, fluorescent light. It's warm light, which is always one with that what it leads, always one with that what it illumines. Question on age and the Kundalini process from Natalie, or Natalie, depending on the way the accent is. Short background. I have listened to all of your YouTube videos and all the complimentary offerings on your website. I'm now deep into your book, Chamatkara, The Hidden Path. My own spiritual path has been taken many twists and turns, and after the tragic loss of my youngest son 18 months ago, I find myself here. Here is a slow reawakening out of a grief cocoon and into a pull towards Trikashaivism. Question: is Kundalini Ma not already active and ready when we are born and there is times of need? Is a total awakening possible or feasible at my age of 62? Do lack of hormones affect the physiological process? In other words, how do I trust that the awakening won't damage my system? I feel a deeper transformation awaits me. Well, my deepest condolences to you, first and foremost. But I'm here to reflect what you have shared here, and I want to reassure you that 62 is a perfect age for truly realizing what you are, who you are, what your true reason, purpose of being here. And even though age in the body is considered to be affected by endocrine system, of course, and the activity of the principal glands of the endocrine system, all of them, not just principal, I should say, all of them are acting in sync and harmony, providing that the highest glands have been rekindled. And my reassurance comes to you from working with many people who are 20 years older than you. My own mother came on this path of yoga and Tantra at approximately the same age as yourself. She was in her early 60s, maybe mid-60s. And with all the traumas, including losing her grandchild, my first daughter, she has managed to transform herself and to enjoy and live the years consciously of that in that bliss of the self, and I've seen it firsthand. I've seen complete and utter transformation in a woman that I knew my mother to be. So, and I've seen that with more senior ladies who came into this work, some of whom did not even consider this as a remote possibility. So this is for me to reflect back at you so that you have true understanding that there are no boundaries when it comes to that, what age physiologically impose on the body. Because Kundalini here and what it represents stands for awareness. It stands for the light that illumines everything. So my mother also had almost entire thyroid gland removed when she was younger. And even that did not inhibit her capacity to go through these phases of awakening where she was just completely blissed out. And that blissed out state, of course, is only truly possible when the pineal and pituitary glands take over. And then they begin to regulate the activity of all other glands. So, in majority of human beings, unfortunately today, the phenomenon known as calcification of the pituitary gland, which gives access to the pineal gland, the master gland, that's Shiva Lingam, in the sacred chambers of the neurophysiology, is what doesn't allow us to experience that state of fullness, beatitude. But with the reactivation of that, then that state is being returned, and the body can undergo through extraordinary phases of renewal, rejuvenation. So this is important for me to reflect to you how things are, so that you understand that it's not only improbable or somehow questionable, it's a matter of fact. It's not at all, the age does not stand here as a boundary. And that alone should release the necessary amount of psychological energy from its state of contraction. So you no longer identify with the age, but identify with the light that illumines all your experiences. We should forget about our age on a daily basis. You are going through grieving phases, and this should be given full attention so that to grieve, so as to allow that possibility fully to experience that, what it means, that parting, which nobody can speak of, nobody can know. Only mother can know when she parts with her son, with her offspring. Not even father possibly can experience this, what mother goes through. And yet only the mother can also release through grieving that what is being claimed here into what gives birth in the first place. Because that's the way of life. Ultimately, that is the only way. And from there, it becomes the fertile ground from where that what was experienced as a grief is the black soil where the greatest, strongest, most powerful unfolding new life, eternal, takes place. Because in our day and age, that power is given. You see? In that day and age when, as it were, the Kali age, the Kali Yuga, it is known that suffering has that quality. It's not suffering for nothing, nor to revel in suffering. No, is to truly understand, and I hope the Chamatkara, the hidden path, some of the passages will be healing for you, because it invites to truly, not intellectually, truly, somatically dive into these states and phases, so we don't deny ourselves any register of these experiences, as long as we realize that all of them are lit by the same light, translucent, transcendent light that is never dimmed, only seemed as if, that illumines the furthest galaxy and every corner of your heart and every interaction, illumines the very, very meaning of what it means to be mother. Both eminent and transcendent at once, because that is the quality of that light. It's not a detached, cold, fluorescent light. It's warm light, which is always one with that what it leads, always one with that what it illumines. No age can touch that. No age can be a barrier. And that you added here, how do I trust that awakening won't damage my system? I feel a deeper transformation awaits me. This, in turn, invites an important reevaluation of what we mean by why awakening of Kundalini can be volatile and it is a dangerous process. Let us use this opportunity to bring in very important clarity here. Awakening itself never damages the system. No awakening can ever damage anything in the system. So what causes damage? What do we call damage? It's only misunderstanding and misconception of what this is that causes the greatest damage. It's like a quicksilver. How many people comment under our videos, particularly now, when some short or reel goes viral, and all this, you can just test the state of the collective consciousness in relation to how people comment. When any mentioning, any reminiscence, anything in association to awakening of life force, of that what illumines everything, is immediately dubbed as satanic, demonic, and all these sudden so-called Christian voices on the rise. Christ is the only king. This is what causes tremendous misunderstanding, perpetuates the fear. Fear of what? Fear of who you are? How can awakening be satanic and demonic? How can that life force, the most precious, more precious than the term precious, can be anything other than what it is? It transcends all this nonsense. When one is touched by direct experience of that, all these words just fly out of the window. But if one is in the stages and phases when this psychic conditioning play havoc in our system, then that could, of course, cause very unwanted repercussions. Because soon as something begins to resurface, and this is where it's important we keep implementing the knowledge, because we can't just completely take these sacred teachings from the East and transplant it into the Western soil without giving very important acknowledgement and understanding. So therefore, using the language with regard to advancement in this part of the world, in this particular day and age and culture. We do not disregard psychological approaches, and we bring examples of those who have ventured, pioneered, opened the doors, cut through, created the possibility for further exploration. Remember Carl Jung's proposition that the only way to overcome centuries of religious hiatus and religious indoctrination and actually allow the possibility of experience of freedom is to embrace the polarities that the psyche is ridden with, because that's what it means at the level of the psyche. At the level of the soul, soul here exhibits and displays all these qualities simultaneously as registers of the spectrum. Some parts of the spectrum are always expanding by nature and by virtue of their vibrations. They have that quality. Others always contracting by virtue of these very vibrations. Even when you look at the blue, blue impacts us differently than yellow. Mauve is different from red. Orange is different from green. So somehow these qualities get to impact and affect the complexity of our psyche over the years of religious indoctrination with the ideas of what considered to be this and that, what considered to be as angelic and demonic. At some point became ideological propaganda, not something to set us free. So therefore, the phases that we're going through now as earthlings, let's say if this particular phase of maturation of the soul is to go through a reconciliation of all these opposites, then nothing less will do than to sit in front of that demon that rears its face as our own and announces himself or herself. If we are not willing to do that, who is going to do that job? No. Then, of course, we will continue having world with Hitlers, because it's very convenient. We will always create out there evil-like being, out there evil-like personalities, because the opportunity to reconcile it all here, forgone, thwarted. So it's an expanded, let's say, way of speaking to this, what you have said in that last sentence, and this is addressed to all and maybe to the greater conversation, what can damage the system. But just to add, of course, it's a willing, intelligent, smart cooperation, collaboration, integral understanding, accompanied by integral understanding. But awakening never damages anything. It cannot. It's not what it is for. It's not its function. Its function is to heal. Its function is to bring greater happiness, greater coherence, greater peace, everything greater with this time around what everyone acknowledges as charged with positive connotations. But on the way to that, stuff gets steered and thrown to the surface. Let's skim it off without putting a magnifying glass and start examining all this muck. What a waste of time. It's better to sit down, make a pot of tea and enjoy it.